Burger King and Tim Hortons parent company, Restaurant Brands International, off to a strong start in 2019, outperforming McDonald's and Wendy's by a wide margin, up 20% so far this year. Last week, the company announced a new $5 monthly coffee subscription for Burger King as the fast food competition continues to heat up. Joining us now for his first on-air interview ever is Jose Cil, CEO at Restaurant Brands International. Was just saying, first time I think we've talked to you guys since 3G formed this company 8.5 years ago. Welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here. Good morning to everyone.
So how is Burger King specifically doing? That's your biggest brand and awfully competitive environment. Still solid number two?
Yeah, we're doing well. What's exciting about the Burger King brand is that it's growing both internationally with new restaurant development and new markets that we're opening, and as well as top-line sales. And we're also growing quite well in the U.S. And just in the past year, in 2018, we grew restaurant openings to more than 200, which is one of the top-growing restaurant brands right here in the U.S. So we're excited about the progress we're making with Burger King. Have a lot of work to do, but we're excited that it's a growth business and has been a growth business for quite some time.
Everybody's jumped on the coffee bandwagon. McDonald's been doing it for years, Dunkin' brands. Why now are you getting into coffee subscription?
Well, we've had a really strong breakfast business at Burger King in the U.S. for many years, for decades. But we felt it was an important time for us to be able to revamp and overhaul the breakfast offering as well as the coffee offering. New packaging, more sustainable packaging. We have a new brand, which is the Burger King Cafe, and we thought the coffee subscription would be a good way to bring people in, create some excitement, and have them try the coffee at Burger King.
You say bring people in. I mean, traffic has been the sticking point for the industry in total, right? Traffic, you make it up on ticket, but it's trying to get those feet in the door.
Absolutely. This business has always been and will always be about bringing in more guests into the restaurants. It's not about pricing only. It's about having great experiences, having great-looking restaurants. Technology is a big part of what we're doing with Burger King, with Tim Hortons, and with Popeyes. So it's a full focus on guest experience, and I think that's what's going to drive more guests into the restaurants. What we start with is really great tasting food at Burger King and Popeyes and really great coffee. So those are the drivers of traffic in our business.
Can you describe what margins are like in the early day part versus the rest of the day, dinner time?
Margins in the breakfast day part are typically a little bit better. It's a stronger beverage business, so there are better margins in that business. But overall, the margins are healthy, and we're focused on continuing to grow top line through traffic counts.
So the other story Wall Street is very focused on with your stock is the international growth. I know it's a key mission. How ambitious are your plans, and how much do you have to make up for the fact that McDonald's and Yum have been so global for so long?
So international is a big part of the story and the opportunity for Burger King, Tim Hortons, and Popeyes. We just recently opened our first and now our second Tim Hortons in China. We think that's a great opportunity for the brand. We have over 1,000 restaurants with Burger King in China. So international in Asia Pacific, in Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Latin America are big growth opportunities. But what's exciting about all three brands is that right here in North America, we're growing, and we're growing very ambitiously. We have a really strong pipeline of new stores for Popeyes here in the U.S. as well as for Burger King. So we think we have a lot of room for growth internationally and in the U.S., and we're excited about the opportunities.
What about Tim Hortons? Any growth momentum there yet?
Yeah, we've done a really good job over the last 4 quarters with Tim Hortons in Canada. We saw sequential same-store sales growth in Canada. We have a great team in Toronto now. We've built up both the sales side, the marketing side, operations and development. So we're really working closely with our franchise restaurant owners to be able to drive top line there and bottom line. And we're excited about recently launching, actually just yesterday, our loyalty program in Canada. It's off to a good start. People are excited. It's one of the strongest brands anywhere in the world in terms of loyalty and frequency with its guests. I think 7 out of 10 cups of coffee in Canada are sold in a Tim Hortons. So we're trying to get to number 8, and we're going to do that through loyalty.
You talk to any restaurant owner, and I mean QSR, high end, no matter what, the first thing they want to talk about is labor cost. How much it costs to get a cook, a dishwasher, a cashier. How tough is it? I mean, how would you describe it right now?
Look, we've seen over the years, over the decades that the QSR business has been in this country and abroad, that you're going to see some ups and downs and fluctuations in costs, whether it's commodities or labor. Our focus is always on bringing in really talented people and focusing on making sure that they're engaged, that they're motivated, and that they stay and excited about the brands in the restaurants. And so the focus is on bringing in great people and then growing the top line, which is going to help address any commodity or labor costs that we see in the business.
But when you implement floors to wages, like we are doing in several states, I mean, how should investors be prepared for SG&A in the future, I guess, is my question.
Well, at the restaurant level, we've seen healthy margins in the last several years, and they continue to grow. We saw growth in restaurant level margins at Burger King in 2018. We saw the same with Tim Hortons in Canada, and we saw flat year-over-year restaurant level profitability at Popeyes. And the focus for us is to keep driving more guests into the restaurants and ensure that we drive the top line. That's going to help us outpace any inflationary pressures that we may feel, whether it's commodities or labor.
So the market has really fallen out of love with 3G. Recently, Kraft Heinz is a disaster, the botched takeover of Unilever. Do you see that as an overhang for your stock?
Our very different businesses. Our focus since day one, since 3G acquired the company in October of 2010, has been about growth. We felt that the Burger King brand was a very well-known brand, had presence and awareness in a lot of markets, but it didn't have a business that reflected the size of the brand. And so from day one, every conversation I've had related to Burger King and to the acquisition was always about how do we grow Burger King to become a world-class restaurant brand and business. And we've seen over the last 6-7 years with Burger King that we've gone from about $14 billion in system-wide sales to nearly $22 billion, and all of that's come from a focus on growth, having good franchise partners, focusing on investing in marketing, in technology, things that are helping us drive the top line and helping us drive the bottom line.
In other words, the cultures are different, even though they are both 3G, Kraft Heinz versus restaurants?
Common shareholders, and I've learned a bunch working with the team and the shareholders from 3G. But the focus for us is on growing our restaurant brands. We started with Burger King and acquired Tim Hortons, and now with Popeyes, and we have 3 amazing, iconic brands that have huge growth potential both here in North America as well as abroad.
Finally, you've got a great window into U.S. consumer spending. Are U.S. consumers still benefiting from the tax cuts, and how does growth look for the rest of this year?
Well, we're excited about the opportunities for growth here in the U.S. We think there's growth both in terms of same-store sales or comparable sales, so our like-for-likes are growing, and we also think there's opportunities for growth in new store development. So we're creating jobs, we're creating opportunities in small markets in the U.S. So we're really, really excited about the opportunities for BK, Popeyes, and Tim's here in the U.S.
Jose, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you. Jose Cil, the CEO of Restaurant Brands International.